everybody, this is BW Bridger. I'm here today with Lee Ryan, my good friend out of Dragon Amps in Fort Worth, Texas. And we are here today to talk about the Leviathan. So give us a little bit rundown of what you built here, man.
All right, well, let's start with how powerful it is. This is an 80-watt amplifier. So you run it through a half stack and you get all the volume you need. You put it through a full stack, I'm sure that is everything you could ever need after that. So, 16 ohms output and one channel, and you plug in and you're pretty much good to go. So what we're looking at here is an amplifier that uses 4 KT66 power tubes, and we are using mercury magnetics for the transformers. And the best part about this amplifier is the preamp. My preamp is different than any other amp you'll find. The first tube in the gain stage is an EF86 pentode preamp. This is a high fidelity tube, so from the first gain stage you're getting a higher quality note from your guitar, more overtones and more timbre of the instrument. So right off the bat you're starting with a richer quality note. Put that through a high quality amplifier with all of the things that I've designed in this amp from start to finish, and you have an incredible sounding amplifier.
I can tell you this amp sounds amazing. Some of you guys know me, some of you don't. I've been playing guitar for a long time. Lee and I have played together. I've recorded a lot of amps over the years. This one sounds amazing. You're going to hear a little bit about it. Here in a little bit, we're going to have some demos for you to look at and some video for you to look at. So, what was your thought process behind getting this type of amp out and getting this type of quality and clarity? What was your kind of thought process when you're sitting down to build the guy? You're thinking, I need to have this that's going to do this for this purpose.
Well, this amp started with another model called the Harbinger, which was a 50-watt model. And it did everything I needed, but it just wasn't loud enough. People would still play on it, and they said, man, 50 watts, it's almost there. If you could just get more than that, that could replace the one I'm using right now. So I went back and I designed that model off a more powerful power amplifier. Now, when I changed the power amplifier, it improved. It became more stable, and there's a greater richness in here that I didn't anticipate on. So that's where it came from.
It's like studio magic, right? Like you get in there and you're recording stuff and you're like, oh my God, I just messed up and made this huge mistake, but it sounded so cool, I'm going to keep it. And you just rewrote the song. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, in a sense, I was kind of, shooting in the dark. I had an idea of what I started with, and I'm trying to improve upon it to do something more power is what I was going for in a sense. And it really surprised me with what I came out with. Yeah.
And it's not a one-trick pony either. The clean tones are freaking amazing. And then you crank up that gain a little bit, and suddenly it's just smooth, buttery, warm, just, and in our demo, we've got a guy sticking a tube screamer in front of it. And I'm telling you, it's just got as much gain right in the sweet spot with clarity and articulation that you absolutely want to have as a recording artist. I mean, maybe your general guy won't catch it and be like, oh, it sounds good, but they don't know why. Well, we're going to know why. And when you buy one of these things and use one of these things, you will figure out why as well. So what exactly is it that you do here? Because you don't just do amp building. I mean, you've got a great shop here. Tell us a little bit about Dragon Amps. What exactly are you doing here at the same time?
Well, predominantly, this is a repair shop for amplifiers and any kind of musical electronic equipment I can work on. PAs, keyboards, pedals, anything. I get all kinds of stuff that comes into my shop. When I got the time, on the back burner, I'm building my own amps. So to keep the lights on and live in this world, I fix stuff day to day. And the long-term projects, is to really start building my own amps and get my own production going.
Absolutely.
So, there we go.
Absolutely. And you do great work, man. You fix several things for me. I've sent a lot of people your way, and everybody has great things to say about you. On Facebook, everybody comes up and they're like, oh, I need somebody to fix my amp. And I'm not the only guy that recommends you. There's 5 or 6 of us out there like, hey, you got to go see Lee. If you're from Dallas, it's a little bit of a drive down 30, but it's worth it, man, because your prices are great, the service is great, the quality is great. I'm not trying to blow you up, man, but
yeah.
You worked on a Nomad for us, and it was the dirtiest, nastiest piece of crap I've ever shown anybody anywhere. got it back. It looks freaking brand new.
Oh
It plays
yeah,
even
man.
better.
I remember that Nomad. It's a good amp.
Oh, it's a great amp. Anything else you want to add to it or say to it while we're about it? Anything you want to add in?
Well, you touched on the clarity of the clean settings, and that is definitely one thing I was going for, is to get it as loud as possible without breaking up, and that came through really well. One thing people look for is a real loud power amp, and I asked them, do you want the distortion in the preamp? And a lot of people say, no, I just use pedals for that. And so, in a sense, you've got to have a loud, clean amp that can take pedals for some customers. And that's what this amp can do.
And that's interesting too, man, because you see a lot of cats out on the scene right now that are running around with these freaking the Axe effects, which I love as a toy to take home and play with. And if you don't have a great PA where you are, great. You know what I mean? And also those Kempers. And those companies, I know Kemper sells a product that has a clean power amp on it. But what it reminds me of also is all the stuff that Roland did, the JC120s and all that stuff, where they're just clean. And those amps are known for their cleanness. And then you put like a GT8 or GT10 or 100 or whatever you got in front of it, and they're married like that, and those things sound amazing. So would a setup like this, would this work well? I believe it would work very well for something like a Kemper without the power stage on it, or without the Axe effects, without any type of additional power amp. And I think what would be great about that is because the ones that they're using, all the typical PA style power amps that people get into to use for that, they don't have the ability to get a little bit dirty. And there's one thing that's missing in those digital amps, and it's the ability to get just that little bit of dirt, a little bit more, that little bit of tube. If I had a little tube behind it, this guy would sound good. Something like this would make that sound good. And you're not priced out of the range of what these people are paying for tube amps, or power amps, to cover that.
Oh yeah,
that deal.
Absolutely.
I imagine you can do custom order type stuff. If I called up and said, "Hey, I need this weird thing."
Yes. Yeah. I've had people make requests for power amplifiers on their own with no preamp. It's like, yeah, I can do that. So if you want a tube power amp, I can make you one. I can custom tailor amps to the way you want. Adding gain stages. It's like, well, I like it, but I need even more gain in the preamp. I can do that. Tone stacks. Well, I need a mid scoop. I need a custom tailored mid scoop. I need more presence. Whatever you need, come and start with the base model with what you got here. That's what we're working with, and I can hone that in and custom tailor it to exactly what you're looking for.
That's pretty much it, man. We're gonna play some clips right now for you guys, to kind of check the amp out. If you have any questions, tell us where we can find you again. Facebook, Instagram, all your.
Oh, Facebook for sure. Google me. I've got a website, dragonamp.com.
So anyway, we'll wrap this up. This is Lee Ryan, Dragon Amps in Fort Worth, Texas. Great company, great dude. Lee Ryan. I'm Brian Bridger. Check it out.
All right, now we're going to try with some overdrive on the preamp. All right. Try boosting it. We can try pushing it a little bit harder, see what we can do. There's one thing I want to try is keeping the preamp clean and just overdriving the power tubes. That has a little bit of a different sound. Try that. Really shines is when you push those power tubes hard like that.